Pentagon won't explain misleading statements about Trump-era Chinese spy balloons. Now, either one or two things happen here. Either they did have spy balloons during Trump presidency and they never told them, or this happened after Trump had already left office. I mean, it's a shame you can't even trust your own defense department. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts as well. So check those out. All right, let's talk about this news. The Department of Defense won't identify the Pentagon official who this weekend told reporters that the Trump administration let 3 Chinese balloons fly over the country without noting the critical fact that these incidents went undetected by the military. The quote, senior defense official told journalists in a background conference call Saturday that the Chinese government surveilled balloons, quote, transited the continental United States briefly at least 3 times during the prior administration. Democrats seized on the Pentagon disclosure to defend President Joe Biden amid outcry that Chinese balloons was allowed to travel unimpeded for several days across the continental United States, only to see the claim fizzle less than 24 hours later when the anonymous officials said the balloons were discovered only after former President Donald Trump left office. Quote, this information was discovered after the prior administration left, an official told the Wall Street Journal on Sunday. A senior administration official said the same to CNN, but did not describe when or how those previous intrusions were uncovered. The initial statement from the senior defense official gave no indication that the military failed to detect the balloons, putting Trump's administration in a much different situation than Biden, because they told Biden. They didn't tell Trump about this. Chinese government surveillance balloons transited the continental United States briefly at least 3 times during the prior administration, and once that we knew of at the beginning of the administration, but never for this duration of time, the unnamed official said, according to a transcript of the briefing. The discrepancy comes amid revelations that the Biden administration withheld information from the public about the balloons out of concerns that the disclosure would derail Secretary of State Anthony Blinken's planned visit to China. So his visit to China is more important than Americans' security, is what he's saying. The administration was forced to acknowledge the balloon only after a newspaper in Billings, Montana, spotted it last week. Now, Air Force firefighter planes on Saturday afternoon shot down a balloon off the coast of the Carolinas. The identity of the senior defense official could signal whether the Pentagon is also helping Biden combat the public relations crisis over the balloon. A Pentagon spokesperson denied the Washington Free Beacon's request to identify the senior official or say whether the individual is a political appointee or career employee. It's probably a political appointee. Quote, as the briefing was conducted on background, we are only attributed remarks to a senior defense official and senior military officials, a Pentagon spokesperson told the Free Beacon. The senior defense official made the remarks about the Trump-era intrusions in a conference call with reporters from CNN, the Associated Press, the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, CBS, Fox News, and Reuters. A transcript of the call shows that the reporters asked follow-up questions, but none about the 3 previous intrusions. They never asked the right questions. But they basically, this, like I said, either this happened and they never told Trump about it, or this happened after his term. But let me know what you think about this craziness. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out themarkrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.